It's a great pleasure to welcome Foreign Minister Søvndal for our first meeting.
Trial. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your warm welcome. Thank you very much for your hospitality. Denmark's relationship with the EU is of great importance, I think, for both of us. It's very important also for us both to have a friendly and also an honest dialogue about two close allies as our countries. We appreciate very much the multilateral approach you have to the global questions. We cooperate in a lot of different areas, as you mentioned. I think it's very important these years to build up international relations on promoting human rights. There is a fight in a lot of places in the world about that, about democratic values and rule of law. As you mentioned, we are going to take the EU presidency. It's not in the most easy time. We have to do that. We'll do what we can to make a successful presidency. We know that the economic question, the debt crisis of Europe, is playing a big role. Europe is taking steps to try to make answers to the economic challenges we face. One of the important things for the new Danish government is to increase what we call green growth. We think that's one of the common ways out of this crisis to be better at green technology. As mentioned, we also discussed the Arab Spring. It's a situation with a lot of hope and some concern about the changes taking place. We are very much encouraged by what's happened in Libya. We're very much encouraged about the elections taking place in Tunisia. We'll look at some concern about Egypt, but we'll stay there. And I think the important thing is, if we are most to hope or most to concern, that we stay there, not to take over the developments they're going to make, but to be at their side and help. We also confirmed today our common work to be done in Afghanistan. We're going to stay there also after 2014, not in the hard combat mission, but with assistant aid, and we're also helping financing the Afghan national forces. As you mentioned also, I think we can also help each other trying to stabilize some of the fragile countries. We have a very big interest in doing that if we can secure these states. And just to finish off, we have a common agenda about disarmament. We have a dream of a world free of nuclear weapons. We like to work also on that agenda together. And finally, about Arctic.
Ice is melting at the poles.
It's a region which is getting more and more important, and we think it's a good example also how states with different interests are able to work together in a way where it's international law, it's international rules deciding the way we are going to handle also difficult questions in the region. So you could say from Arctic to the Arab Spring, it's a very broad agenda. It's because we are in a world with a lot of big agendas just now. Thank you.
No, then I'm not at all shocked. I'm actually reassured.
And Mr. Foreign Minister, Denmark is planning substantial cuts in defense. How are you able to convince critical allies that we are going to pay our fair share for the future of NATO and to sustain NATO capabilities?
Do you want to start, Minister?
Shall I start? I think we are in a position like all the European countries are, like US also are, that we don't have the money we had once, also not the military spendings. The former government and the present government is setting the same goal as how much could be taken out of the military spendings and still remain a strong military. We have some structural reforms we can make on Danish military. They have not been published yet, but I'm sure, as to answer your question, that Denmark will be able to do the kind of missions we did, like the one in Libya, and if there might be someplace else in the future, we have to participate. We are going to participate also on the hard side of the military mission. That's one side. The other side of Danish defense policy is to build up fragile states, to be able also to prevent conflicts which might, if not intervening, be developing into something where we had to react military, maybe too late. So you could say we are trying to work both on the one leg and also on the other leg.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way of working, actually.
We agree. I think you've heard not only from our NATO ambassador, but also from defense secretaries and others that we do have a concern about the sustainability of our NATO forces and deterrent. It's something that we have discussed very openly in NATO. We will continue to do so.
Manning's trial begins tomorrow.
And the same from my side. I look very much forward to working with the U.S. administration. I think you mentioned an American. I cannot recognize that. I mean, I'm not un-Danish when I criticize government that was before me. It's you could say politics. I'm a great bewonder of American culture. I think some of us listened in our young days to the same music, saw the same films, have been reading the same books. There have been a lot of interaction. Some of us have family here, so it's a lot of relationships. They will continue. They will continue. And of course, among good friends, you're always in a situation where there are questions you judge differently. That's also the case between our governments, but on the very important, heavy agendas, Libya, Afghanistan, we work together. At the Arctic area, we work very well together, and I assure you that will continue.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Minister. Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you very
Happy
much.
New Year.
Thank you, same to you.
We'll head out this way.
Yeah.
So when you
Denmark's relationship with the EU is of great importance, I think, for both of us.